Okay, so we're on problem number one, and looking at it, they want me to, I see a function of x, they call it t. It says as x ranges over the real numbers, what's the minimum value of t? So it's like we have a function to minimize. And certainly you could take the calculus approach or look at this and probably see something. I'm hoping I'm seeing something right away, by the way, and maybe do it an easier way. Let's go to the whiteboard, and I'm going to write down what I'm seeing over here. Again, this is number one, and I'm seeing t as a function of x. And what they want to do, they want to minimize this. All right, now looking at it, let me just go back and look at what they said it's equal to. It's equal to a root. And the root it's equal to is x squared minus 2 squared plus x minus 5 squared. What I notice immediately about this one over here, it almost looks like it's a distance formula. All right, what's the next one going to be? Write this one over here. And it's going to be x squared, very similar to the first one, by the way, minus 3 squared, plus, I do see x squared though, but I can write it as x minus 0 squared. And this also looks like a distance formula. Now looking at it, I want to point out that if this is a distance formula, there's going to be a point, all right? And I'm going to say the point's going to be xy. And looking at this one over here, just looking at it, I'm going to say x is x, but y appears to be, just for this one over here, the y appears to be x squared. I'm getting my eraser out, and I want to see if this is true. And the other point would be, for this first formula over here would be what? Let's take a look at that. The x would be 5, and the y would be 2. Well, let me just see if that's true, by the way. I'm going to write down a distance formula for that. What's this going to be? Well, it's going to be the change in y, x squared minus, I got them backwards, don't I? Let me erase this again. I gotta be careful about this, don't I? X squared minus, oh, I'm sorry, no, it is y. X squared minus 2 squared, that's the y value, plus x minus 5 squared. Yeah, it seems to work out okay. Let's do the next one. Again, looking at this, it looks like, you know, it still looks like x, and the y looks like x squared. And the point would be, the y would be 3, and the x would be 0. And let me just see if that is true. Let's do the y's first. It's going to be x squared minus 3 squared. And let's do the x next. It's going to be x minus 0. Okay, so I got some feel for what I'm looking at over here, and I want to, you know, kind of visualize what you're talking about over here. I know what the function looks like, and the function is just over here. This x squared looks like this over here. It's a parabola. And I know there's a point in the parabola. I'm just going to call it x comma y. All right, so some point. And there's 2 other points, by the way, I'm looking at. And they want to know the shortest distance, I guess, that we could get through that goes through the curve. And I'll take a look at this over here. And I got the point 5, 2. And again, I don't know where xy is. I'm going to say 5, 2 is over here somewhere. Right, but just kind of ballparking it. And then the other point was 0, 3. I don't know if that's 2. This would be, whoops, sorry about that. This would be like 3 up. I did it again. Again, this is an abstraction of what I'm trying to think about. So 0, 3. All right. And what I'm going to claim over here, looking at it, that this thing here, right, represents this distance here. And this thing here represents this distance over here. And what I want to do here is I want to minimize this. And the only way I think I could do that without going to calculus is to look at this thing over here, and all I really need to do is look at the shortest distance between those 2 points, and that would be a straight line. So that would minimize that, right? Because if I take this point here and I move it up, the distance gets longer. If I move it in this direction over here, the distance is also going to get longer. The only way I can be sure if it goes through this point over here. Now, I don't need to know that point, by the way. And the reason for that, what do they want me to do? Let me read that again. What's the minimum value of t? It's the distance between those 2 points. Let's write this down. So the distance between those 2 points, let's see, it's going to be 2 minus 3 plus 5 minus 0. Let's hope I don't make a mistake. 2 minus 3 is minus 1. When you square it, you get 1. And when you square, when you square the 5, you get 25. So it's going to be root of 26. That's the shortest distance, by the way. And we're done. Thank you.